Hey everyone, Dr. Nuesse from EasyDOTphysicals.com trying to answer the question, can you cheat on a drug test, specifically in 2025? A lot of things have changed since the last update I made on this subject, so I'm going to break everything down. So, of course, people have heard all kinds of things on the internet, TikTok tips, things on here on YouTube, various Google searches, I'm sure, of how to beat a drug test. So today we're going to cover things like fake urine, substituting your urine maybe for somebody else's urine, detox drinks, freezer bags, all of these types of things. And here's the real question. Can you actually cheat on an official drug test? On a drug test, you actually have to go to the lab to get performed, something that potentially your job is on the line in 2025. But real quick first, I am trying to get an idea of people's opinions on marijuana testing, specifically those who watch these types of videos, my channel. Not all drug testing, just THC marijuana testing. So if you think we should stop marijuana testing, please click that thumbs up button, like this video, and if you think we should continue to test for THC marijuana, hit the dislike button, the thumbs down button, and leave me a comment in the comment section below letting me know where you stand. All right, so let's go through everything. The short answer to the question, can you actually cheat an official drug test in 2025, is yes. People have tried, people have done it. It's certainly possible, especially with the urine test, which is the most common way of drug testing. Yes, there's hair testing. Yes, saliva testing is becoming more accepted, but the standard still is the urine test. You can do it, but typically it is not worth it. Drug testing labs are more advanced than ever, and they're testing for more things, and they're checking for fake and substitute urine a lot more frequently. And trust me, they have seen every trick in the book up to this point. It's almost like an arms race where people try more and more elaborate ways to beat the drug test, and then the drug testing companies or labs have to come up with ways to figure those things out. And it's just, people keep escalating it, and the labs have gotten pretty good at it up to this point. All right, so let's talk about specific ways that people try to cheat. So first up, synthetic urine. So this, I know, sounds like a foolproof method, right? If you use a synthetic sample, it's not going to test positive for THC. It's lab made, it's clean, all of that. But guess what? Labs test more than just for the presence of drugs. They're checking for temperature, they're checking for pH levels, they're checking for specific gravity, color, smell. They're checking for a bunch of different things to verify that it is an actual real sample. And again, I just mentioned that it's kind of an arms race. The people, the companies that make these fake samples are getting better and better at making synthetic samples, and then the labs have to get better and better at trying to determine if these are fake samples or not. So in my opinion, at this point in 2025, it is just not worth it to try to use synthetic urine to beat a drug test, again, because the consequences can be so great if you do. So one of the consequences if you get caught using a fake sample is you may have to go through an observed sample where they actually watch you giving your sample, and that's becoming more and more common. And again, that's obviously a huge, I don't know, invasion of privacy, very embarrassing. So sneaking fake urine in, again, I just don't think it's that great of an idea. All that being said, I believe that the fact that we perform urine tests that are not observed, meaning you're just left in a room by yourself, a bathroom by yourself, to do whatever you want and provide your sample, is a huge loophole or a problem we have with the drug testing system. It basically means that urine testing is not really valid because people have the ability in the privacy of this confined bathroom by themselves to do a lot of different things to manipulate the sample, and synthetic urine is just one of them. So can synthetic urine beat a drug test in 2025? I would say yes, it's possible. I would say it's probably not worth it. All right, next up is detox drinks. So these are marketed as flushing your system or cleansers, and they make THC vanish in 24 hours, and a lot of people get sucked in buy a lot of these gimmicks or THC detox drinks or whatever because they become desperate. They have a drug test coming up and they've just used THC and they need something, so they grasp onto anything that they can find. The truth is that most of these products are just glorified diuretics. They make you pee more, but they don't actually remove THC from the fat cell or from your system. For more info on what you can actually do to be prepared for a marijuana THC drug test, click in the description box below. I'll leave a couple links down there. Here's the kicker. A flushed sample also looks like a diluted sample. So sometimes if you use these products, your urine test could come back diluted. And again, you might have to go through an observed test, and nobody wants to go through that. So again, even if the THC levels do drop a little bit, it still may be flagged as an invalid sample. So most of these detox, again, they're for people that are desperate and are trying anything, but they're, again, not really specifically aimed at detoxing. Again, they're just flushing fluids through your system. So they're diuretics. Will they work to beat a drug test in 2025? Probably not. All right, and next up in 2025, can substitution with someone else's urine beat a drug test? And certainly people try this all the time. They take somebody's urine that's clean, one of their friends, a family member, whatever, and they try to sneak it in. Just like with fake urine, they're just using real urine from another person. And that brings me back to the fact that they're going to test it for temperature, pH, specific gravity, and all these other issues. And you're going to have to keep that sample at the right temperature. You're going to have to figure out a way to deliver it into the cup when they put you in the bathroom to give your sample. So could this work? Yes, again, but they are checking for this stuff. They know that people are going to try to beat drug tests, so they're putting checks in place. And again, their checks are becoming more and more sophisticated. So this one's kind of like the fake urine substituting with another person's urine. It may be a little bit better because it is actual real urine, so it's going to be hard for the lab to determine that it's not your urine. But again, there's a lot of things have to go right in order for this to work. So again, in 2025, can substituting your urine for someone else's urine that's clean beat a drug test? I would say it can, but you know, a lot of things have to go right. So is it really worth it? Probably not. All right, so here's the bottom line is, especially DOT regulated industries, federal jobs, cheating, it's not just embarrassing if you get caught cheating. It can disqualify you from certain types of employment, blacklist you from certain roles, have legal consequences, and may even be considered fraud at this point. So if you're caught, you could be required again to go through an observed test, or if it counts as a failed test, then you could be required to go through counseling before returning to that job. And no one wants to be treated like some kind of junkie or drug addict just because they failed a THC test. All right, so while trying to beat a THC test using these methods may be possible in 2025, in my opinion, it's just not worth it based on the consequences. So let me give you what I think the solution is. One of the main solutions is to test yourself at home leading up to that drug test. Know where you stand. Understand how long THC stays in your system. I've done a number of videos on this channel on that subject, and how factors like body fat, metabolism, frequency of use, hydration, etc. affect how long it takes to clear THC from your system. And if you're finding this useful, this video useful and informational, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We have plenty more videos coming up on subjects like this. Now, if you want a step-by-step guide of what you can do to be best prepared to pass a THC drug test, I have put together, in combination with my partners over at Exploro, a THC masterclass teaching you exactly what you should and should not do leading up to an official drug test. Again, a link to that will be in the description box below. It is 100% free. I want people to be prepared for these types of tests because, again, Testing for THC marijuana is not at all like testing for any other drugs. It can stay in your system for much, much longer, which again, in my opinion, is just not fair. Even if you've stopped using for maybe a month or even longer, you can still test positive. Again, it is completely free, and a link to it is in the description box below. So finally, don't gamble with your future. Don't believe some myth or something you read on Reddit or TikTok. Don't try to cheat the system. Just understand the system better. Be better prepared. Thanks to all the subscribers and the members of this channel. You help keep me going here. Test smart, stay ahead, take care of yourself, and until next time, everybody, stay safe.